By 1990, Roger Douglas and the Labour Party had shaped the economic landscape here for 6 years. Changes had been difficult, and the Labour Party had fallen out of favour. After the 1990 election, the National Party came back into power. Another no-nonsense finance minister is appointed. She is Ruth Richardson.
It's like a passing of the baton in a relay. I was able to do a sprint that he wasn't able to with the reforms.
So in some sense, it was a 1-2 punch. In both cases, reforms moving in the direction of greater openness, greater transparency, greater government accountability, and better incentives for the private sector.
So take our agricultural sector and take the meat industry and the slaughterhouse. So you had a closed shop, and I say this as a feminist as much as a finance minister. You had a closed shop, the boys had all the good jobs, they stopped the women doing the jobs that really paid well. You had to belong to the union, and the union said who worked where and for what wages. There were 25,000 people working in the railways. 25,000 people only needed to be 5,000 people. So when you disrupt 20,000 people who are in pretend work, how are they going to re-enter the workforce if you've got all these closed shop arrangements?
All those things was a form of privilege that helped a few people who were employed in that industry, but cost every other New Zealander, including the low income, a lot of money.
And in 1994, the job growth exploded. People were free to work.
New Zealand, I think, got the combination right. They reformed the private sector and they reformed the public sector basically at the same time.
New Zealand also started applying private sector accounting disciplines and transparency to the public sector. This is not the case in the vast majority of countries around the world. In fact, if private businesses were to report their financial books according to the same standards as government accounting, it would be deemed illegal in most countries. In New Zealand, government officials could no longer get away with a lower standard.